will now be placed into the conference. Everyone but you is muted on this call.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Warren Fleet conference call. At this time, all participants are in listen-only mode, but later you will have the opportunity to ask questions during the question and answer session. It is now my pleasure to turn the conference over to Joe Stefan. Please go ahead, sir.
All right, thanks, Luke. Hello, welcome everyone to the Warren Fleet conference call. It is May 19th. We are getting into, I would almost call it late spring. Today on the call, you got myself, Joe Stefan, Director of Van Operations, Lance Vatrabek, VP of Operations, and Ben Coffrin, Director of Safety. Ben, do you want to get us started with your comments from the safety corner?
Yeah, real quick, real brief, guys. Hey, welcome. Appreciate everybody being on the call. Just want to shout out to some birthdays this week. We got Sean Jackson, Alex Walton, Sergio Martinez, Brian Tish, Frank Flowers, and John Merson. So happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Hope you guys enjoy your day and another trip around the sun. And then we got some anniversaries from a lot of different divisions here. We got Demir Savic, who's celebrating his 70th year on the, he's been a steady guy on our local run. And then we got a couple on the over the road group, Jason McBean celebrating his 3 years. And then Vihil Kepich also celebrating his 3 years. And then we got short haul, Chase Hahn celebrating his 6 years. So happy anniversary, folks. We appreciate your longevity with Warren Transport, and we wish you many, many, many more years of success. Really quick, just a couple things. Want to congratulate everybody for a very successful CVSA inspection blitz week. Historically, we really do a pretty good job of that. We get the word out. Folks understand that there's extra eyes on us. But hey, let's have that mentality every week, every day, every time of the year, right? Trips, obeying the speed zones, wearing your seatbelt. Right after your inspection blitz, we had an experienced operator not wearing a seatbelt in Marion, Iowa. And sure enough, DOT actually was a state trooper pulled alongside him and gave him a warning for a seatbelt. So it affects our unsafe driving violations. But again, great inspection blitz. Lack of, we didn't have too many inspections, but we had a lot of clean ones. Also want to celebrate Roosevelt Williams. You got a new clean level 2 this morning in North Carolina. So that definitely affects helps our maintenance basic and our out of service percentage. So appreciate all the work you guys do out there. And then, lastly, I'm just going to finish on, make sure we're viewing Lytics events, right? We mentioned this a little bit last week. Joe and I did. It's game film, right? Nobody out there is going to do perfect, but if you sit back, you look at those events, you're like, okay, I did this run this week, or I did this special run this week, and I had 1 or 2 events that I'm normally not used to getting. Okay, it was in heavy traffic, or hey, I was running around with that pack, and maybe I should have backed off a little bit and let all those other 4-wheelers zoom on by me and stayed out of harm's way. So it's just perfecting your craft like we always do. We try to perfect our craft here, and we expect everybody out there else to be better today than you were yesterday, right? So make sure you're looking at those events every so often, so we can have a discussion about follow distance and all that good stuff. So appreciate all you do out there, and I'll turn it back over to operations.
All right, Lance, what do you got for us today?
All right, good afternoon. Thanks for having me, Joe. I want to piggyback on one of the things that Ben just said and dive in just a little bit. I just got out of a maintenance meeting. We talk every month about what was going good, what's, where do we have opportunity, things like that. We've had a really good couple of months on the cost of repairing equipment over the road versus getting the work done inside of shops. But one little blip was brought up, and it was that over a 1-week period earlier this month, we had 14 tires on the van division. This was between vans and specialized. 14 tires that blew out over the road in a 1-week period. That's an abnormally high amount of tires to have to repair over the road for a 1-week period. So the simple message is make sure you're doing your pre-trip inspections and checking the tire pressure to make sure that you don't have a flat tire, because running it flat will cause it to blow out, of course, over the road, and then you'll be stuck on the side of the road waiting for somebody to come and do the repairs, and losing time and losing money, and always costs more if you have to get somebody out there, a tow truck to come in, or a roadside truck to come and fix it for you. So much easier to do the inspection when you're at the at the shop, or TA Petro truck stop, whatever, where you've spent the night, and find the low tire and have it repaired before you get going that day. That's always the better thing to do. So can save you a lot of money if you do it that way. On to some really good things. I wanted to bring up a few things that have happened so far this year. I mean, we're 4.5 months into the year, and we've had some really fantastic progress on new business and on rates and on our average net settlements that I want to talk about for a minute. So since the start of the year, on the van side, our rates are up 11% from where we finished 2025. 11% is a fantastic number, and we're only 4.5 months into 2026. 11% would be a fantastic full year number. I would have been thrilled with any of the last 3 or 4 years. But 11.5% is a great work. You know, it's incremental every month. Literally every month we've made improvement. This month's no different. We're marching up with our CPM and with our rates, and some of that's related to new business. Actually, I'll jump into new business in just a second. So on the van side, it's up 11%. Specialized side, you guys are up 21%. 21% since the start of the year. That is huge, huge, huge. I'll talk in a second about how that affects your net settlements, obviously in a positive way. But some of the new business that we brought on just very recently, like in the last 30 to 45 days, include a customer called Christensen. They're out of Laredo, some good business there. We started back up. We used to do some stuff with Keurig Green Mountain in like 2022. And so we're back in the door with Keurig Green Mountain and American Bottling Company, and now we're starting up with Mott's. And then we've been doing GE Appliances for a month or two out of Chicago area. So, you know, our sales team's out there working really hard to find new business, and, you know, it's actually, you know, as you're probably not surprised, it's easier to find some new business today, but our sales team is, you know, hitting the streets and picking up the phone and trying to reach a bunch of people to say, hey, what can we do to help you out? And here's what it's going to cost, and bring on new business at a higher rate that's good for our contractors. So I'm excited about that and where we're at with bringing on new business. Obviously, new business and higher rates leads to some very positive things for our contractors' net settlements. And some of these things, the trends, can be a little bit hard to see from a 1 week to the next week scenario. So I wanted to kind of say, how have we come, what are the improvements that we've seen since the start of the year? So I'm probably not going to go through all of these, but all of them are super positive. Let me just say that for the van side, as I mentioned, our CPM is up 11% for our overall business since the start of the year, and our net settlements are up 31% since the start of the year, which tells you that when you're running, that additional money is going to your bottom line. So your net settlements are getting bigger by having the CPM going up, which obviously makes sense. You run more miles and you get paid more per mile on the work or per load on the work that you're doing, you're going to see better net settlements, and that is what's happening. So on the van side, it's like $320 on the CES average net settlements and $450 on our OBTs, the folks who've brought their own truck to work with Warren. 31% increase since the start of the year. Short haul, very similar numbers, 25 and 30% for the CES and the OBTs. And Specialized, some incredible things. As I mentioned, 21% for the rates that have gone up on Specialized since the start of the year. The CES net settlements are up 102%. They've more than doubled since January. That's incredible. And the open deck, people who brought their own truck, is up 30%. So some really, really good, strong numbers. And we expect more. We're not done. We're going out there and talking to every new customer. We've got a meeting every single week where we identify what are the lanes that we need to do better for our CPM on, which customers haven't given us a rate increase in a while that we need to go back to and ask for more money. And then we take actions and we do something about them so that we're making progress on ground every single week. So that is what we're doing, and we will see more increase through the summer and the rest of the year. And I'm excited to tell you things are going the right direction for the rates and for the industry. And you got a team of salespeople and people in the office here who are on top of it. They're at the leading edge of getting rates and finding new business for you, our contractors, and it is proving out in the amount of money that you're seeing to the house. Is it enough money? Hell no. I want to get you more money. So that is what we're always doing, is trying to get more money from customers, bring on new business, improving the worst of the lanes, lifting it from the bottom, and having those types of things happen so that it puts more money in your pocket. So we aren't done, but glad you're along for the ride so that we can keep giving you better and better and better settlements every single week. So that is all I had for today. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thanks, Lance. Luke, can you remind our callers how to register for a question? We'll move on to the question and answer portion of the program.
Yes, sir. At this time, we will open up the question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question, please go ahead and press #1. Again, that's #1 on your telephone keypad, and you'll be placed in the queue in the order received. Again, for your questions, please press #1. It doesn't look like we have any questions, sir.
All right, everybody must be all taken aback by all the extra money coming in their pockets.
All the
Anyway,
good news.
but thanks for calling in. Thanks
Thank you.
for listening to the information we have on here. And most of all, thanks for operating safely out there. Remember, level 1 gets you $150 in your pocket. A level 2 gets you $75 in your pocket, and a clean level 3 gets you 50. Go into each day hoping to get a DOT inspection so we can pay you for a clean one. Thanks, everybody. Have a great and safe day.